we went through Daniel Pratt's video. Now, admittingly, I got really drunk, and I went hard. I went really hard on Daniel Pratt in that video. I never get drunk. That's the first time I've ever gotten drunk on stream, and I lost my cool. But at the end of it, I issued Daniel Pratt a challenge, or anybody actually. I issued everybody a challenge. I said, if there's a flat earther that can give me an argument that the Earth can work on a flat Earth model and it not be explained by something on the globe, I will delete NonSequitur from the internet, every video, and close the channel. Every video. I still
by the way, I didn't catch that part, but fuck. You're 100%. It's a, it's a what do they call it? A sure bet. Like there's literally nothing unique and nothing original for them to say left.
Yeah, there's actually a challenge out there. I don't know if you know about this, Kyle, but a friend of mine, Nicholas Soutter, he's been on the channel before. He's a philosopher. He wrote a couple books. He actually has a challenge, and this is actually in escrow. This is a legal thing. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And if he can call in, maybe he can tell us more about it. But he wants to come on and offer it to flat earthers, and he has $10,000 that is available. Challenge for people that can have an objective experiment that will demonstrate a flat Earth. Conditional, obviously, that if they can't, then they have to pay back expenses and all that other stuff. But this is a legit offer for $10,000. We offered it to Flat Earth Jesus. Well, hang on. We offered it to Flat Earth Jesus, and he denied. We had an awesome experiment, the whole 9 yards. He wouldn't follow through with it. So it really tells you the fact that these flat earthers aren't really secure.
That's because the Earth's not flat. All. Listen, guys, if you want $10,000 and you want this channel gone, bye-bye, you can be the hero that gets makes bank and gets rid of I will delete every video. I will not be uploading anything else. I will delete the whole 9 yards if you can just prove to me that that one thing. This is what he did, though, Steve. This is what pissed me off so much. Daniel Pratt took he was using a treadmill as an example, and he was saying that the Earth is a treadmill, that it's spinning. So his point was, as a treadmill is going fast, right, on a belt, you can't move one direction the same way you can the other because it's spinning. And he said that's how we know that the Earth is not spinning, because we can walk around and there's no friction anywhere. So he literally thinks that the crust is like.
There's just so much wrong on that. Yeah, there's just so much wrong on that.
It's
well, ludicrous. But how many flat earthers do you know that have ever gone and taken physics courses or learned math? I mean, none of them do. I mean, literally, they don't have the basics even down, and yet they think they understand physics and math better than the people that actually go study and get their PhDs. So I don't understand their mentality, but anybody with half a brain will recognize that these people have no idea what they're talking about. They never will have anything to show that the Earth is flat, and that's why they won't ever take Nick up on his offer, which, by the way, is a very legit offer. And he wants to, like I said, to come on, hopefully call in or maybe on another show and officially offer it to people on this particular program. So
the Earth is a treadmill. Anyway, our Australian friend, did you have anything else for us?
Actually, one last question. There's been a few times where you've had Saturday night debates and the flat earther has just not shown up. Is that because? Well, why do you think that at present they're so unwilling to actually come on and even defend their ideology at this point?
Because they don't have any. Because they've seen what happens when they do. Like even them, as dumb as some of them are, they still, I think, can recognize when someone gets their ass just completely handed to them. And if you see enough of the Saturday nights, no one walks away going, there's something to that flat Earth thing, because they're continually disproven over and over and over again. So I think what happens is in the comment section, this is what mainly happens. And there's, I'll tell you, but Steve, ask me when I get done with this about Rand Campbell. They'll leave comments and saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you're fucking stupid, all this other shit. And so what I will do in the comment section is I will say, okay, if that's how you feel, here's my email address. I'll be waiting on an email from you. We'll get you in, and you can come on and tell us exactly where we're wrong. And most of them, you just don't hear anything else from them after that. Some of them will email me and say, okay, I'm from the comment section. I'll come on, whatever. And then when it comes down to it, I think they just get scared. They get #bitchmade. And they realize that it's not worth coming on just to get embarrassed for 2 hours.
Fair enough.
And the thing is,
I find it confusing, given that they are so ardent in their belief.
There's nothing we haven't heard before, right? Think about this. They have nothing new.
Impervious to self-awareness.
But if they're going to come on and run the same script, right? If they're going to come on and run the same script, right? They get. I know. We're getting.
I'll keep on listening on the screen. Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Yeah, Australia for some reason is the worst lag. I don't know if their internet connection is basically a string and 2 styrofoam cups because they're still on copper connections for some reason. But yeah, it's really bad down there. But they run the same script, right? They get the same things from like Eric Dubai's 200 reasons for flat Earth. I mean, nothing is new under the sun. We've all heard it before. We all know how to debunk it. And I think they recognize that, and they have nothing new to offer. Any one of us have said, look, if you can come on and provide an actual model, something in CGI, something we can actually look at, something we can even just mathematically look at, we would love something like that. And to date, nobody ever has. I think one person tried to have a model. Their model actually ended up disproving the flat Earth, but shocker. But yeah, that's the thing. If you want to show that the Earth is flat, you need an actual model that works, that actually will demonstrate observations that we see and make predictions. When we have things like Stellarium is the perfect program to demonstrate the Earth is not flat because it makes predictions, and it's based upon the round model. You can say, hey, where is this next eclipse going to be? And here's the eclipse, and it shows you like literally to the second where's the eclipse, and you can go validate this, and it's spot on every time. That won't happen on a flat Earth.
Night Demon says, Earth is round, hands down. Flat Earth just stop, LOL. Lysandra, thank you for the super chat. Here's to our 2K milestone. Eric Johnson bought the album, loved the show. Album 2 idea, a beta with Latin acapella beatbox. Album 2 is in the works right now because of the latest videos. By the way, there's a video going to be coming out this week, I think Wednesday, of myself, Casey, and Godless Engineer. We toured the Davidson NASA Center where the Saturn V rocket is, and we went through all of the different science displays that they had, and went through the ISS. There's a life-size mock-up of the ISS, and we actually, here we go. Let me tell you about this. So this guy will be coming on next week. He's busy this week, but in the video that you'll see on Wednesday, we got to where the brain of the Saturn V is. It's this big ring, this huge gold-colored ring. It's got all of these like solar panels on it, and it looks like a something you'd see inside of your computer. There was a gentleman in a white NASA lab coat, older guy. I mean, you could tell he was old. Like I thought he was probably 100. That would have been my guess. And he's just standing there waiting, for people to come around and ask him a question. So as you'll see on the in the video, I didn't sit, but I stood there and interviewed him for probably about 15 minutes. And his name is Brooks. This is Brooks. I'll just hold this up here to you guys. Let me see if I pull up my screen here. So this is Brooks. He was he worked with the Saturn V and the rocket boosters. He's a rocket scientist, and he retired several years ago. He's 95. Okay, this is what he looks like now. He's 95 years old, and how he spends his. Oh, sorry, Dave. Oh.
Try again.
That's Brooks now. He's 95 years old. And this is what I was thinking as I was hearing his story. Okay, you have this guy who's 95 years old. He spends his downtime at that center telling people the stories and explaining how things work. It's just, I don't know. It gives me cold chills. I mean, the guy is just an inspiration. And it was at that point that I was like, okay, I got a really bad taste in my mouth with the whole flat earth thing now, because they're calling people like this guy an absolute liar, a fraud, and a cheat. And he's 95 years old, standing there.
Well, people can lie too, Kyle.
Russian vids, chill out. I haven't got to you yet.
Okay.
So he's 95 years old. He's spent his entire life and dedicated to that one place, doing that one thing. And when you go there, and you'll see on the video the intricacy in the rocket, and just it's laughable. It's laughable to say that any of that is that's what I took away. So you'll see that video probably on Wednesday. Brooks will be with us next week. He says he loves doing Skype interviews, so he'll be coming on to explain what he did. He started in the 50s with NASA, so we'll get to hear all about how that unfolded for him, and it's just a really cool story.
Almost like elder abuse, right? I mean, these people are trolls. I mean, there are some delusional ones, don't get me wrong, and there's some people that actually do buy into this nonsense, but most of them are just trolls, and I think they need to be held accountable. I mean, the fact like Logan Paul came out as a troll, big surprise, right? I mean, I said from the beginning that he was bullshitting. I mean, I didn't think for a second he actually believed this stuff, and of course, he comes out later and says it's all crap, right?
Yeah.
He admits that, the Earth is round, and it was all just for drama for his movie and all that other kind of stuff. But I think a lot of them are like that. They do it for shock and effect because they have no honor, they have no ethics, and they don't care who it hurts. And I think a lot of these people that are flat earthers like that.
Here's the thing with me, though. Like, I stood there in front of this guy, right? I stood there in front of this gentleman. I saw when with the questions, like when I was asking him, like, tell me what your fondest memory was, and how this worked. I saw that spark in that guy's eye, like that him going back and thinking about the memories that he's had there and what he's seen, and that he had something, that I was there like eating it up, because every story they told was just thrilling. You can't fake that. You cannot fake that. That is not something that can be faked. Like, that's real. His memories are real. His passion for it obviously is real. The dude's 95. He's 95. I'm 32. 32. And there are days I don't feel like getting out of bed doing shit, let alone going where I used to work to deal with a bunch of brats running around just wanting to play on things. But he does that because it's real and because he's passionate about it. And you can't fake that. And so, yes, Brooks will be with us. Brooks Moore. You can look him up online. He's been with NASA for well over 60 years, and he's going to be coming and telling us all about his story. So, okay, Russian vids.
Yes, Kyle, Steve, how you guys doing?
I thought we got enough of this. I thought we got enough of each other last week for a while.
Yeah, I had to take a break, but what I want to ask is, you guys are kind of, especially with that Aussie guy, you guys are kind of bashing, of course, as usual, the flat Earth. Let me ask you both. Have you guys ever seen the curve of the Earth with your own eyes?
Yes.
Where and when?
In a plane.
Neil deGrasse Tyson stated from 128,000 feet, he's referring to Felix Baumgartner's jump. There's no curve of the Earth. It's flat. That stuff is flat. You can look it up yourself. I sent you the video. Right. So, how can you see from 30,000 feet, 35,000 feet when Neil deGrasse Tyson said you can't see from 128,000 feet? The math doesn't add up.
I number one, I think people are taking him out of context. Number two, I clearly took a picture in a clear day up in a plane, and then Dave, do you still have those pictures, by the way? It's been a while ago.
There's a curve to the window of the airplanes, right? There's a slight curve to those windows. But by the way, you think I'm taking it out of context? Why don't you Google it right now or look on YouTube, Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Can I ask you a question, Rustin Vids? Wait. Can I ask you a question, Rustin Vids? Hang on. Do you not think that we've heard this same argument a billion times before by a billion other flat earthers? Like, you're telling us anything new that we haven't looked into this before, that we don't know about Baumgartner's jump, we don't know what Neil deGrasse Tyson said, we know that you've taken him out of context. Do you not think that you're telling us something that none of us have ever freaking heard before? I mean, like, it's something new. Because it's already been debunked a million times.
I'm asking you for something new. I haven't asked you this directly, Steve. I'm asking you directly. When have you seen the curve of the Earth?
No. if you're gonna call in and you ask
right about everything,
I want to ask. Hang on, answer my question.
He also
please.
says the Earth isn't flat, right?
Answer my question, please, Russian Vids. Do you think we've never heard this before?
Say it again, Steve. Hal is speaking.
Okay, for the 5th time. Do you think that this is anything new to us that we haven't heard before and debunked a million times over? It's called a Pratt. Do you know what a Pratt is? A point refuted 1,000 times.
I'm asking you specifically. You know, Kyle says he has photos of this curve. I'm asking you specifically, when did you see the curve of the Earth? Forget Neil deGrasse Tyson. Answer my question.
What is it? What is he asking? I don't even know what his question is.
I'm asking when did you see the curve of the Earth?
Yeah, I've never been up that high. I've never been up that high. Most of my flights are around 30,000 feet. So
you've never seen the curve of the Earth for yourself. You're just taking it based on, you know.
I haven't seen a lot of things with my own eyes. I believe that they exist. Yeah, I believe atoms exist, and I've never seen an atom. I believe black holes exist. I've never seen a black hole. Although, by the way, next week, I guess there's going to be an announcement, and I guess the first official picture of an event horizon is processed, and I think that's going to be the big announcement next week. But a lot of things we don't see with our own eyes, and we believe that has nothing to do with observation. Russian Vids.
It's okay, Steve, to have a belief.
I've never seen my grandparents, great grandparents.
There's a difference between beliefs and what's a fact. Correct?
Facts are what support beliefs, and I'm not going to get into epistemology with you. But do you believe atoms exist?
I'm just asking if you. That's all I'm asking.
Wait. Do you believe atoms exist?
You never seen the curve of the Earth, and that's fine. At least I appreciate your honesty.
Give us a piece of evidence, Russian Vids. Give us one thing. Give us one proof that the Earth is flat. Just one. Because we got a lot of people.
Water.
Anything.
Water's level. Show me water. Sticking to a ball.
Listen,
on the bottom or side.
I invite you to watch Saturday Night last week. It has a picture of the curved ocean. We had a gentleman that deals exactly with that. He has ultra sensitive instruments that they use to that is specifically designed to measure the curvature of the water, because he deals with disasters and stuff like that. So they need to know those sort of things for preparedness and all of that. It's last Saturday, not this Saturday, but the Saturday before. He goes through all of that, and he will answer every question. Yeah.
Well, anyways, but here's the thing,
not on a piece of paper on a chalkboard, in a math equation.
Oh, not
okay. Well, we need the math. Here's the thing. We need the math. We need the physics. We need the model. Until you have that, you have nothing. All you have is points refuted 1,000 times. That every flat earther out there has run this script before. You're no different than any of the flat earther running the script. Yeah. Why don't you produce an actual model that we can stick in a computer simulator and actually see if it actually makes predictions and explains? Why don't you ever do that?
Well, it's very simple. Again, water physics level needs to be contained to find its level.
So you
can't do it on a ball.
So you don't have a model, right? So is this a fact? Is this a fact, Russian Vids? Because you like facts. You don't have a model that actually makes predictions and explains. We do. Is that a fact?
No,
because it's a fact.
The sun,
you're just absolutely wrong.
The sun and the moon work, over a flat Earth. It doesn't work. How does the moon? When you see the moon and the sun in the sky at the same time, they're both above the horizon at noon. How does it work on a ball?
Yeah, thanks to Russian Vids. We have a model that works. Anybody can go download it. It's called Stellarium. Go practice with it. It doesn't work on a flat Earth, only works on a round Earth. When you make a program like that, then you have something. When you have a second grade understanding of physics, you have nothing. You don't even have a basic understanding of any of this, Russian Vids.
Right. Russian Vids, listen.
We've demonstrated this.
You have a math equation. You don't have real-world science.
We got to go.
That's all you have. A bunch of jargon.
We have to go to different.
But
we can close this out. But listen, Russian Vids. Let me explain something to you because you and I are. Have a respectable rapport with each other. We have all of science, all of the evidence, all of the facts. You can do the experiments to prove it yourself. All we hear from flat earthers, and this is why we're getting tired of going through it over and over again, is nuh-uh. That's literally the only thing that you have to offer to everything. It's a refutation of the evidence that is put forth by us. There's only one side that's putting forth evidence to be refuted, and that is our side. Now, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. Your feelings don't matter to science. Your skepticism doesn't matter to science. Your conspiracy theories don't matter to science. None of that matters to science. The only thing that matters to science is what is provable, what is demonstrable. As Aaron would say, if you can't show it, you don't know it. And one thing is for certain, Flat Earth can't fucking show it. Not back then, not now, not in the future. It will never happen. And the day that it does, I will delete this channel and you won't hear me bitch about it anymore. But stop coming to us with nuh-uh. We want something new, some new argument, something that hasn't been refuted 950,000 times because it's so fucking annoying now. So get some new arguments so that we can start having a good time and fuck off with the nuh-uh because it's not cute at all.
And what's funny is every time the flat earthers do come up with something to try to experiment, they end up disproving their own hypothesis. They actually demonstrate the earth is round. Every single time. Go figure. Okay, who do we got? Hello?
Caller.
Oh, hey, hello?
Hey.
Hello? Hey, it's Nick. Nick Soutter.
Nick,
you guys,
awesome.
I heard my ears burning. I had to call.
Yeah,
I had to
I was
call.
talking that shit about you.
We're talking about you?
Yeah, I was talking about him so he can offer his challenge live, and so it's on record.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Got it. Well, please, go right ahead, sir.
Oh, real simple on the Codex, the Humanist Codex, or the Atheist Codex, just atheistcodex.com. A number of challenges. Our Flat Earth Challenge is our favorite. And it goes something like this. We will cover, we have a couple of tests that we want to do, but if you don't like any of ours, if you don't think they'll prove Flat Earth, come up with your own. Once we agree on a test and we agree that that test is reliable and accurate, we will conduct the test. We will pay to fly you out to wherever that test is being done. We will pay to also whatever observers you want. We're going to record it. You can record it. And we do the test. If the test comes back flat Earth, we recant our ball Earth views on. I do it on my personal social media. The Codex does it. And you win a prize of $10,000. On the off chance, in the unlikely event that it comes back a round Earth, a ball Earth, then the only thing that happens to you is you just got to reimburse us the expenses for the experiment, and you have to recant the flat Earth. And if you can't find an experiment that you think would meet those results, I don't know how you can say you have the conviction of your beliefs. There's got to be an experiment out there that can do it. We're looking for it. We've been looking for it for 2 years. We've had about 24 people say they wanted to take the challenge, but it usually breaks down pretty close to getting the contract. So we haven't had anyone actually take us up on it yet. Well,
I wonder why that is. Do we have any ideas?
That's a very good question. Well, we just recently there's a flat earther, Bruce Lacey, who actually goes to conferences. He lives in Florida but travels around the United States and actually presents at science conferences. Now, one of our scientists is a man by the name of David Stout. He is the guy who did the Bible Code, who debunked it, and he was on the cover of Scientific American magazine for proving that the Bible Code could actually be reproduced in any work. And he's one of our scientists, and this guy was actually bugging him, so he asked if we could do it, and so I spent about 2 weeks going at it with him, and we met every concern he had. He said, look, I want to use my own judges. We're like, fine. We get veto power, but you can use your own judge. And the experiment has to, the one that Steve was there for, this is the one that I really like, is simple. Take a sniper rifle, shoot it, set up 2 targets, and we're aiming in a north-south direction. 2 targets. One is directly ahead of the sniper rifle. The other is just to the, north, south, east, west of it, just to the west of it by a couple inches. Fire the rifle. If the Earth isn't moving, the bullet should travel in a straight line, strike the target right in front of it. If the Earth is moving, you're going to get the Coriolis effect, and the bullet is actually going to travel and be off by several inches. We calculate exactly how far it's going to be off, set up the second target, and figure out which one it hits. We repeat this north-south, east-west. And that's one of our current challenges. We've got a Bedford level. Just use a laser to measure the curvature of the Earth. We've had that one around for a while. Anyways, Bruce Lacey had a bit of a meltdown. It's on Facebook. He went a little crazy towards the end and started really speaking in circles and got very worked up. And I don't know what's going on, but I don't think he's going to be going to scientific conferences again anytime soon.
Yeah, that was a good experiment.
I wanted to add onto your bet there, Nick. If they can in fact prove the flat Earth, I will tattoo "I was wrong" and then an image of the flat Earth on my forehead. Seriously.
Yeah, well, yeah, be a little careful with that. I was talking with Steve about this, and I will say this. It's a $10,000 challenge, and people tell me all the time, why isn't it $1 million? Why don't you do $1 million? Reason is very simple. This is a complete legit challenge. We have to operate on the assumption that there could be, with the original Bedford level experiment, there was an error. They didn't properly account for refraction, and the result they got was a flat Earth. And the way our challenge works, it's based on the result. That's why we have scientists who review the experiment before we do it. If the result is flat Earth, we lose the challenge. We don't get to, once the contract is signed, we don't get to go back and say, oh, there was an experimental error or anything like that, and neither does the other side. We commit, we go forward. So just keep in mind, Kyle, people have made mistakes. I'm just saying, you want to put that in part of the challenge, I will write it into it.
Yes,
I will write it into it. But there's a reason we don't offer $1 million. We offer exactly what we can afford to lose, right. Nothing more.
Yeah, it's the potentiality there to lose, but that doesn't mean ontologically it makes the Earth flat. It just means that you fucked up on your experiment or whatever. So there is that small percentage, but some people think that you have to put up the money to match, and that's not what the offer is. You don't have to put up $10,000 to match. What you have to do is you have to reimburse the expenses. So if you come up with an experiment, you could do a very cheap, inexpensive one from your town, then you probably won't lose that much money if you're just demonstrated to be wrong. Now, Flat Earth Jesus wanted to fly everybody to Australia and all this other stuff, and it would have been a hell of a lot of expenses. But the experiment that we were talking about was well devised, and by the way, it'd be an automatic firing. Wouldn't be a person actually doing it for control of variables. But Flat Earth Jesus chickened the hell out. I mean, he's like, no, I'm not going to do anything like that. He none of these people will put any of their own money up. Any people, this is all just nonsense to them, I think.
Well, there's something
because they won't man up.
The reason we do it this way is to flip the script. I got a little tired of science can't prove anything. Cannot prove anything. And there's no statement you can make in science that isn't up for question somewhere down the line and that you can't attack on some level. We decided to flip the script. So now we will cover all the expenses. We'll cover everything. If you truly believe that the Earth is flat, there is zero reason not to take us up on this. No reason. And people will start sending us with a gish galop of, well, here's 1,000 tests. You don't need me. You can, do it at home. And listen, every time I do it, I screw it up because I get back a round Earth result. So we want you to be there with us and do it. And that's the part where a lot of these guys all of a sudden seem to have issues. And if you really think that, and we will do whatever it takes for the most part, everything we've never had a problem of not being able to meet someone's conditions when they say, well, we'd like to have, would like to have it done here or there in this country or that country. We will find a way to do it. In the end, they still don't show up, especially when they realize and they really absorb the fact that we're going to contract. And once that's done, they will, again, in the unlikely event that it turns out that the Earth is a ball, they have to reimburse us. And that seems to bug people more than it should.
Put in there that we will terminate this channel too. Everything, all of it.
All right, we can add that. I will put that on, Kyle. I am not kidding. That will be on the Codex tomorrow.
And I'll go to Prince Albert if the Earth is flat.
Oh, and we lied. It's actually $10,007.50. Steve donated the extra $10.50.
I did.
Fight the Flat Earth said that he will delete his channel too. Nick, Fight the Flat Earth said he will delete his channel too.
Oh well, listen. He can. I may forget that because I'm in the middle of a couple of things here. So somebody remind me, or he can get a hold of me on Twitter or Facebook, and we will. I'm sure that may be added incentive. But we got the challenges that we sort of we have already accepted. And again, as long as whatever experiment you come up with doesn't have to show that the Earth is round. I don't need it to show the Earth is round. What I need is an experiment that is going to be reliable and accurate and can be read by any layman. That's the other one that we have. So if you need a degree in physics to read the results of this, then it's not the test that we're going to accept, which is another reason why we can accept somebody else giving us the judges. We don't have to use our own judges because we record the whole thing, and there's the winner is actually determined by the escrow company, not by us, and you can easily tell which of the two targets is hit when the gun fires, and we just say beforehand, if it's the west target, it's all Earth.
Well, Nick, we definitely want to be a part of that. And by the way, I think your money's secure because being in the Navy, we have to know a little bit about firing sequencing and how things have trajectories, especially when you get your ESWAS, enlisted surface warfare specialist, which I was, and you get to learn about certain things. And by the way, they do take the Coriolis effect into effect on these things. So, When
I think we're good. I'm happy that we got the scientists that are working with us that are, but I will tell you, this is actually the Codex is it doesn't have any is not monetized, so this is actually all out of pocket for me. And I remember we started at 1,000, but we didn't get people taking it seriously enough at that. Now 1,000, I just said I'm going to do this, and I just did it. And then one day I was like, okay, this isn't working. So I go up to the wife and say, by the way, I happen to bet $1,000 on this. And she says, okay, I guess that's fine. I said, yeah, I'd kind of like to raise it to 10,000. Is that okay with you?
And
I will say there was a moment of hesitation there. There was a real moment of hesitation. She's like, "Now you know what you're doing. You can raise it to 10." So I think the other thing that we can put on the webpage for the challenge is my family life. We are putting on because if I lose this bet, oh God, the kids, the dog, the cat, everybody's going to be really pissed at me. But that's the way it is.
Well, Nick, thank you, man, for calling in. In the chat, will you do us a favor and post the links to your where people can find out more information, and then I will link it in the description as well. And
I will. I did see one chat though, real quick, that they wouldn't reimburse us. Yeah, that's why they have to put the money into escrow as we do, dollar for dollar, and then the winner gets the full escrow. So they don't lose their money, but we get it if we win. But I just sorry, I cut you off there.
No, that's fine. But yeah, we're gonna try to get to another caller real fast before Steve and I's debate happens here. We're waiting patiently on it. Nick, where do you stand? Who has the most sex appeal?
Absolutely, Kyle. I'm sorry. I gotta. It's especially since he cut the hair. It's Kyle. I got it. I'm sorry.
I'm not disappointed you don't want me, Nick. I love you to death, but I'm certainly not disappointed.
This is my fun.
Yeah,
I'm just not.
My picture too.
I cannot enjoy this win.
Yeah.
I cannot enjoy this, Steve. I need you to be more. Whatever, Nick. Thank you as always. Your money's secure. It's not going anywhere. It's not. Nobody's.
All right.
And it's okay. Kyle needs the affirmations more than me, so it's okay.
I don't need the affirmation. I look in the mirror every morning.
The mirror is the affirmation.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
They call me narcissist.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We just had somebody on the line. I don't know if are you there? Somebody there?
Oh, did we lose them?
They're not here. They called back a number of times actually, and now they're not calling.
Okay.
So they need to call.
Frustrating.
I can. Yeah. If you want to call in, do it now. We're going to try to get into one more caller before this debate starts. Yes, frustrated atheist. I see that you want to have a discussion with Russian vids on Freemasons. So Russian vids, you can answer him about that. Yeah. I don't know if you received it. If I sent it, I don't know. What's that, R. Gordo? Hello.